Hello, I'm Miss Williams. Welcome to Your Favourite Teacher. Today we will be looking at the endocrine system, its components and the principles of hormonal control. The endocrine system is composed of glands. Glands are groups of cells that are able to synthesize substances for release. Endocrine glands are ductless glands that release substances that they make directly into the bloodstream. The substances they release are called hormones. Hormones can dissolve into the blood and be carried around the body to the target organ where it will produce an effect. Hormones only affect particular groups of cells and are specific. They control things that require constant adjustment and need constant attention. For the exam, you will need to be able to identify the positions of the following on diagrams of the human body: the pituitary gland, the pancreas, the thyroid, adrenal gland, ovaries, and testes. The pituitary gland is found in the brain and is the master gland. The pituitary gland secretes several different hormones which act on other glands and regulate other hormones in the body. The thyroid is found below the pituitary in the neck. The thyroid produces the hormone thyroxine, which is involved in regulating metabolism, heart rate, and body temperature. Thyroxine's role is to regulate the body's basal metabolic rate. The basal metabolic rate is the speed at which chemical reactions in the body occur while the body is at rest. Thyroxine is also responsible for stimulating protein synthesis for growth and development. Thyroxine is controlled by a negative feedback loop that is controlled by TSH, or thyroid stimulating hormone. TSH is produced by the pituitary gland when the levels of thyroxine are low. If the levels of thyroxine are too high, TSH is inhibited and so the levels drop back down to normal again. The adrenal glands are located on the top of each of the kidneys on the left and right side of the body. The adrenal glands produce adrenaline, the hormone responsible for the fight or flight response. Adrenaline is released in response to scary or stressful situations. The brain detects fear or stress and releases adrenaline in response. Adrenaline acts by triggering mechanisms to increase the supply of oxygen in the body and glucose in the cells in order to allow for faster respiration in brain and muscle cells. Adrenaline also increases the heart rate in order to provide the body with the materials it might need to combat the stress factor or outrun it. Below the adrenal glands is the pancreas. The pancreas is a leaf-like organ that produces insulin and glucagon. Both insulin and glucagon are involved in maintaining the blood glucose levels in the body. The control of blood glucose concentration is monitored and controlled by the pancreas. If the blood glucose concentration is too high, the pancreas produces insulin that causes the glucose to move from the blood into the cells. Eating foods rich in carbohydrates can lead to high blood glucose concentrations. In the liver and muscle cells, excess glucose gets converted to glycogen for storage. Insulin therefore causes blood glucose levels to drop. If blood glucose levels are too low, glucagon is added from the pancreas. Glucagon releases the glycogen from the liver, increasing the blood glucose levels. This control is an example of a negative feedback loop and is constantly being monitored by the body. Sometimes the body is unable to produce insulin, and this results in type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes results in high blood glucose levels and is normally treated with insulin injections. Type 2 diabetes is where blood cells no longer respond to insulin in the correct way. Obesity is a risk factor for type 2 diabetes. However, a strict carbohydrate-controlled diet and exercise can help alleviate the illness. The remaining glands are specific to either men or women. In men, we find testes. The testes produce the hormone testosterone, which controls puberty and sperm production. In women, the ovaries are responsible for producing estrogen, which is involved in the menstrual cycle. Compared to the actions of the nervous system, the endocrine system is very slow-acting, but has long-term effects in an individual. Nerves act faster over a short period of time and act on a precise area. Hormones produced by glands are slow-acting, act over a long time, and act in a more general way, targeting organs or areas. If a response is quick, it is mostly as a result of the action of a nervous response, but if it lasts a long time, it is most likely hormonal in nature. So, to summarize, The endocrine system is made of glands which produce hormones which are released into the bloodstream. The blood carries the hormones to their destination. The glands you need to know of are the pituitary or master gland, the pancreas, which controls blood glucose using insulin and glucagon, the thyroid, which controls the basal metabolic rate using thyroxine, the adrenal gland, which produces adrenaline for the fight or flight response, the ovaries, which produce estrogen, and the testes, which produce testosterone. Hormonal responses are longer lasting, slower acting, and act in a more general way compared to nerve responses, which tend to be faster, act over a shorter time, and act on a precise area. We have been looking at the endocrine system for your favourite teacher. Thank you.